Hello guys, welcome to the 5th. This is number 5. We can officially have a high five now. We can have a high five. High five for the podcast. Topics, right. So this time we've come prepared, okay? Rob has been a good boy. He's got some topics. Now, some of the stuff we're going to be talking about is...
do they know? Anyway.
Rob, do you want to take this? Do you want to present the first topic?
Yeah, so first thing we're going to get into... Well, do we have to fake this? We can just tell them what. Let's just
tease it. You gotta tease it.
Yeah, we're gonna tease it. Okay, so what we first spoke about was me trying to make music and me not being very good at making music.
But still being okay at making, actually being good at making
music. Mediocre. I'll take mediocre any day of the week. It's better than complete trash, right?
Oh, I'd say good. I think you're good.
Well,
you're better than 90% of the people that make music, I'd say.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay.
In your genre, obviously, you know.
Whatever.
I wouldn't compare you to Adele.
Oh yeah, no, she's the guy. And then we talked about leading on from that, making for the sake of fun. You know, why do we actually want to make stuff? Why do we pursue these things? And it ultimately needs to be from a place of fun and play to sort of do something creative. And then I talked about, you talked about your Destiny 2 video.
Yeah, so the Destiny 2 video that came out this Friday,
Great
as
video.
of recording, which did, you'll find out, you can go on my channel, you probably watched it, I don't know. But yeah, and one thing that we actually will start off with is going to be a Microsoft leak that you probably heard about on one show. But, okay, I'm going to steal the topic and I don't care. We only spoke about it for like 5 minutes, so fuck off, alright? I don't want to hear it in the comments.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, anyway. And then the next topic was... What was it, Rob?
I started going into the Destiny 1 nostalgia after we talked about the Destiny 2 video, because it's a great game. Everyone who's played Destiny 1 knows the excitement of getting your first Vex Mythoclast, getting your first Galahorn, getting a Hawk.
I learned about the Nighthawk. Is it Nighthawk? Is that what it was?
The Hawkmoon, yeah.
Hawkmoon.
The goated weapon.
Then I ranted about Warframe for a long time.
Fantastic.
I screamed into the microphone a bit. Yeah. And then we ended it by talking about modding your car with an exhaust.
Oh, yeah, you guys got to get to the end for that. We're not going to give you any more detail, but it is a juicy little topic.
That was the crowning jewel.
And if you're one of those people...
Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. And now we're going to play the intro jingle.
I think we've disrespected them enough. Yeah, I think we've disrespected them and made them feel bad.
Well, you know what? I feel disrespected when it's 2 a.m. Oh. I'm trying to make a podcast and they're fucking... Anyway, let's just play the intro jingle, which is made by our lovely co-host, Rob, who does good music.
Come on, I'm blushing.
Come on, you're not Adele, but...
Yeah,
so we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah. They know no one likes
Especially not in residential areas, you fucking twats. Microsoft! Alright? Did you hear about the Microsoft leak?
What the fuck was that?
I know, right?
Microsoft! This weekend, Microsoft has...
I have been listening to a lot of One Show, and actually this topic comes inspired from them.
Oh, of course you do, mate. You fucking piggybacking copy.
Yeah, well, alright. Well, listen, they don't have a trademark on this.
Damn.
I did sound like Linus there, which I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, he's a successful dude.
Oh, actually, I was going to increase my microphone gain, wasn't I? Because I was quiet in the last one, lad.
I can turn you up on editing, don't worry about it. Editing magic.
I'm doing a slight buff on my side from now on.
Okay, well, anyway...
A few dBs, yeah, go on.
Did you hear about the Microsoft leak?
I did not.
Okay, so basically, this massive leak happened where there was a bunch of stuff revealed for Xbox and Microsoft and sort of what they want to do with it for the next, 20 years or something like that. And one thing that people were talking a lot about is it was revealed that Microsoft really, like, seriously was considering acquiring Nintendo.
Which is
now,
impossible. Yeah.
There was an argument about that, about whether that would be possible, and I mean, that sounds dumb, first of all, because why would Nintendo sell?
And also, Nintendo has like deep roots. Is it Japan? Isn't it?
It is Japan.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo already makes so much money, but they to be fair, they could make so much more if they were involved in the community more with like any of their products. And to be fair, they could make even more money if they just made better games as well. But that's not going to happen. So.
Well, right. Listen, you shouldn't say that because a lot of people really like Nintendo games.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as in, like they could make even more. Like they already put out trash games that everyone loves just because of the IP. So imagine if they actually put in decent work to make an actual good game. Amazing.
From all I've seen, the stuff that Nintendo has actually done themselves is actually quite good.
I think,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's more of a culture thing though, because I'm pretty sure Capcom are Japanese, and obviously I love my Mundt-Hunter, but they have a great design philosophy. It seems because they just release finished games, and Capcom? You pay for it. Yeah, Capcom, goated.
I swear they made some like
Resident Evil, perhaps.
I mean, yeah, that was good. What have they done? What else have they done? Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Actually, I'm looking through their stuff and
just bang.
Oh wait, they've done Mega Man.
What the fuck is Mega? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Mega Man.
Yeah.
I've never played Mega Man. I just know of it.
Oh, I used to play it as a kid. Well, because I didn't have much of a choice, but still. Dead Rising was a bit of a stinker.
Damn, bro.
Dead Rising was a bit shit.
Goddamn savage.
Okay, well, yeah, but from what I've seen, like every first party like developed by Nintendo game is like not rushed, is actually, good. I mean, there is one, Splatoon is developed by Nintendo directly. A lot of people love it, but I'm just a bit confused. It's just, I suppose it's a first-person shooter for kids. But that's just a bit boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the target audience for this, so...
Yeah.
And this is another thing. Don't you find it absolutely insane how many grown adults absolutely love Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just... It's stuck from childhood.
Yeah. To me, I guess I could say it's similar to Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty is massive. The games aren't really that great at all, really. But they're, To be fair, I'd rather play Call of Duty than Mario Kart. But that's a Nintendo thing, to be honest.
Well, Mario Kart's a really fun, like, get your friends over kind of game.
Yeah, but I don't have friends, though, so that's probably why I don't like it.
Alright, rude.
Self-burn.
Hello? Invite me over.
We
can have a date.
Oh. That's a long... Sheesh, okay. Well, alright, well,
First date? First date, question mark?
God damn.
We can do it under the moonlight. Play Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 under the moonlight.
Sounds like a song, actually.
That's what I'm going to title this track.
Okay, but...
Speaking of tracks...
What about? What do you want to say?
We said that I was going to release my first track. But
right,
I was trying to explain to you... I'll just explain it briefly, that the mixing of the song, because I have no idea what I'm doing, it's not good. And basically, on the software, you have the master channel, which all the audio goes through. And I have some plugins, well, not plugins. Yeah, they're basically plugins, but I have compressors on the master, so all of the sound is being routed through compressors, so it makes it louder, but it doesn't clip. So the song is overall louder, but it's compressing the sound, obviously, to do that, and that means that everything is kind of a little bit crispy, and it will never be as clean as if I was mixing the song without that on the master channel. So if I want to go back in and take off the compressors, but if I do that, I'm going to have to change the volume and effects on everything in the track again. So obviously you heard that new track I just showed you.
Yeah.
That has nothing on the master, so it's really quiet, so I have to crank my volume up. But it's kind of recommended to do that, because whilst you're mixing it, you want to actually be like close to the top end of your volume in your headphones, so it's clipping a little bit, so you're hearing like the fine details of the sound, because all you're doing is just getting rid of any frequencies you don't need on whatever you're trying to mix. So yeah, that new one is it's the cleanest one so far, because it has nothing crushing it together, but it's also extremely quiet, and it's completely different mixing it now, because I've been doing that compressor thing on the master for like the past few songs, or like projects, and the way it was so much easier. Like I would basically it goes like, it's either green, it's like it shows your volume in green, and basically if it's not hitting red, you're fine. So it's basically green, but it's at the top of the bar, so it's the max volume, and it's not clipping, so it's like really quick to actually mix the song, but it's not going to sound as clean. So now I'm having to mix it from a completely different standpoint, and just like kind of more of the raw sound. I'm still EQing everything, which means just taking the frequencies out, obviously you don't need, but it's a way longer process. But I think going forward I'm just going to do this from now on, and really the compression and stuff really on the master should literally be either a specific genre, because you can have a song that sounds a bit crispy but it fits the genre, or leave that for the mastering. But I've never even mastered anything, because I've never mixed something yet that I'm happy with. But mastering would literally just be the final things on the actual master channel or whatever, on the final bit of audio, when you're just doing little tweaks, just reducing like certain frequencies or whatever you're doing. Again, I've never actually done that, because I haven't made a song that was actually like even clean enough to begin with. But hopefully with this one going forwards, even though the song isn't really there yet, but it's just good practice to just mix on something without stuff on the master. But yeah, so I'm not going to release that one. I think it's a good song, but I will try and go back in and do it from scratch. Not do it from scratch, but take everything off the master and mix it without that stuff on the master, and everything will be much cleaner. I'm hoping it's still salvageable. But the annoying thing is, the compression does add something to it, which is why you might want to have it at some point. But because I've mixed into it, it's caused more problems. But yeah, making the astounding thing is listening to music is when it's loud but completely clean. Mixing is really difficult to make a loud thing not sound completely compressed to fuck. That's like insane. It's very difficult, at least for me. And I'm using samples from Splice, so I literally don't even have to I make some of my own sounds, but you don't have to make that much of yourself, which is way better, because they've already been mixed for the most part. But yeah, I think it's still salvageable, and I've got other tracks in the past that were even, when I was even earlier into making music, that probably could be recovered as well. But yeah, it's just a lot of effort to go back in and change them. And then my oldest projects have like samples just missing, where I think it used to be saved in Ableton somewhere, but they're not there anymore. So I literally have like all the percussion in a song is just gone, all the samples are gone, which is fine because I can just add them back, but like with new ones. But it's sometimes easier for me to just start fresh, like with that new track I showed you, and just go from there. So, but yeah, the drum and bass one is a pretty good one. I think I could still recover it. So we'll see.
So did you say you're not releasing this one that you sold me? that you
Yeah,
that you showed
I
me.
think it's possible. I think it's possible. Like I said, but I want to just see if I can go back, take that stuff off the master, and see if I can mix it without it, and then get a cleaner mix as a result. So
Because you just spent like a few minutes telling me as to why it's bad, but I heard it and I couldn't tell you why it's bad. Like, it actually sounded amazing. It was really good. I think that would be a really good first track, because it's
definitely the best. It's technically my cleanest and best one so far.
Yeah, I agree.
And
it's also appealing. Like, I can imagine a wide range of people listening to it.
Yeah.
It's not niche, really. It's like more, which, can be a good and a bad thing, but I think in this case it's definitely a good thing. And if you've got 2 more weeks. Why not just go for a full, like, EP?
Damn, bro. Well,
Because remember what we were talking about was just releasing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be good, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And
I agree. Well, look, I agree with that, and I also want to release something just to actually, for the first time, just commit to finishing something, even if it's regardless of how I think about it.
Exactly,
but I've done the best I can. Yeah, no, I will. But with this new one, as you heard at the end, the new drop kind of gets heavier because it will be like rhythm or dubstep, whatever the genre is.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah, but that's kind of the theme, though. So this could be like the kind of happy track on it, but then I think the other ones in the EP could be heavier for sure. But making heavy stuff is actually way harder. That one's just pretty basic. So yeah, we'll make this one first and we'll see. But that drum and bass one doesn't really fit in this theme. But I could just make, I could just make 4 completely random ones, and I think that'd be cool. Regardless, I don't really need a theme or anything.
Yeah,
but yeah, it just takes so much time, and also it takes a long time, and a lot of the time I'll come back to a track after not hearing it for like a full day or 2 days, and then I can just instantly hear all the stuff. I'm like, oh, that level's wrong, that's wrong, and it's very easy to get sort of ear fatigue, and it all sounds the same. So it literally does take days, like, to just go back to a song, listen to it. And I'm definitely not one of those people that can just have like 6 things on the go. I'm still at the place where I have one thing. Like, normally it's one part of the song, so like that was probably the vocal. That was the reason I made the whole thing. That the one good thing that I have, and I just try and, like I said, make everything else around it, and hopefully it's good. But I just focus on that one track for a week, a month, whatever. But it's just, yeah, all I care about, which is probably the hardest thing, is just to make it a really clean mix. But it literally takes years to get good at it. So it sucks.
So in terms of like hours, how long have you spent on this?
I wish I could keep track, but when I make music, I do not keep track of the time. It just flies. Whenever I make music, I literally, like this morning, I had to go. I was going to go take the doggo out, and I was like, I'll quickly just pop on the track, and I think I literally spent probably 30 plus minutes. I just quickly sat down, and I spent like 30 minutes, and I was like, yeah, like it just happens, and I don't even realize it's happening. So I literally do not know the hours. I think I'll quickly Google it, but I wonder if there's a way to see Ableton hour count, maybe. I wonder if there is something in the software that does record it. But yeah, and another thing, which is also I don't know if it's unlike you because you've got a fancy schedule for your videos, but I will have days or weeks where I don't make anything or work on anything. I wanted to say, I think I said like writer's block isn't real, but sometimes I literally just am not in the correct space to even do anything productive.
I think we're on the same wavelength there, because today I was meant to edit my next video.
Sometimes
and, and theoretically, I could have like started it today and be done with it today.
Yeah.
Theoretically. And then that would have left me some time to catch up next week.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was about today. I was just like, I just can't. Like, I opened the editing track and I did the audio and everything, and I was preparing to start like proper editing, and nothing was coming into my head. Like there was just no ideas, no nothing, and I was like, I just kind of want to not do anything. And I was like, I decided that, because I battled with it from like 6 a.m. to like 12, and he's gone, ladies and gentlemen. He has left the call. And he's back.
My Discord crashed. Sorry, you said you battled with it from, and then I think you started saying the time, and then it
yeah, I battled with it from 6 till like 2 p.m. And I couldn't get myself into it. So I was like, you know what? If I can't really, I don't want to produce shit, and I have enough time, and that's why I have a schedule that allows me to have moments like these where I'm just like, I just can't be bothered, you know, because you can force it, you can definitely force it, but because it's a 60 seconds video, it's not like a big project, and I've written the script and everything, so the editing isn't really the hardest part or anything. Like I can dash it out in an afternoon. If I have that flow state, that because I didn't work out today, I wasn't meant to. I worked out yesterday, but it still kind of felt like I felt like a slug.
I know.
Also why dominoes, yay!
Well, when you said that, before we talk about your domino exploits, like that feeling, I understand why they call it a block, because it literally feels like I go, like my brain is empty. Like I go to do the thing and nothing happens. Like my brain, it like there's no creativity. Like it's not even as part. Like my brain is like, no, there's nothing there. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, it's terrible, especially when if you're on a deadline. If this was your full-time job,
oh my god, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, like if you didn't do this, you wouldn't have anything to eat next month. Yeah. You know, you wouldn't have electricity or whatever.
Arguably, would make you fucking professional very quickly.
Maybe, yeah.
But not in. I don't know if that's. I think the thing is, it's kind of a cliche thing, but I think it's true. Is like the times I've made like a joke song for like one of my friends, it didn't feel, there was nothing about it felt like a chore or work, like because it was fun. Yeah. And actually the ideas came in faster because it was fun. And you kind of have to, just like in life in general, you just kind of have to not take yourself seriously, which is really hard because you care about the thing you're trying to make is technically serious and you do care about it, but you have to have fun. And if you're not even in a slightly fun mood, then you're not going to produce anything worthwhile. And it's weird, but that is how I feel sometimes.
Which is probably like, that probably has something to do with most rappers' lifestyle. Like, you know, most rappers will like, I don't know, go out, drink and get high all night and then somehow produce the next morning. Some notes to take there, but yeah,
I'm good. Well, I don't know. All of them are like, yeah, now I'm sober. Like my writing's better. Like I perform better. Like my music's gotten better since I became sober and all that. So it's probably BS. But you don't need drugs. You don't need. For me, music is the drug.
Well, yeah, I will definitely say that like I've had a few things. Like I had this friend who asked me. So she basically, her old car went bad. Something with the engine, I don't know. And she had to drive her nan's car. So she asked me to make like a I don't know what to call it, like an introduction video or something like that, like a hype up video of the car. So when she announces it to everyone else, she can just send that video and, you know, like sort of like make it look cool in a like ironic way. Which sounded really fun to me because it was like an old Kia Panda or whatever the fuck they're called. It's like a proper nan-mobile. I mean, it was bad, yeah. And that was really fun. Like, just, I mean, it was a quick thing. But, like, when she was telling me about that, like, I just remember, like, feeling excitement because I was getting all of these, like, million ideas. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen these mixes on YouTube where they go, like, oh, my God, it's a Supra, blah, 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 whatever. And they go... Anyway, whatever.
Well, just before you go forward, I just want to say that what you there captured there is like it's just that one idea that's worth pursuing, and it like everything else around it is just you already know what to do next, or you already generate it. It's like just that spark you need, and it has to be like something fun. But keep going.
Yeah, and a similar thing happened with I don't know if you remember, I've got a video on my channel about I got stuck on a rock, which is arguably
absolute classic.
I've said this many times and I'll say it again. That's arguably the dumbest thing ever to make a video about, because I wasn't technically stuck on a rock, and there's only, I mean, all I had to do was look at the controls menu. But when I was playing it, I thought it was fun to figure out how to get down without looking at the games menu. Yep. And that, just that single spark inspired the entire video.
Yeah.
Out of arguably something benign. And even though it was a long project, I was really excited about it. And there are some stuff that you just make sometimes, and you're like, in the middle of it, you're like, you know, you begin with a great idea, and then in the middle of it, you're like, that it just kind of doesn't work, and then you have to scrap the whole thing. But that is never easy. It's never easy to scrap something that you've worked at for no matter how long.
Yeah, I would say I haven't felt that, just because for me it's either good or it is like, you know what I mean. Like I if there's something good in there, I'll take, you know, I can take it and use it. But like for me, it's just a series of like very quick, like that. This all sucks. Delete it all. Make something like pretty quick. But yeah, to make like a video, or like for me, I don't know, if I finally start editing that Twitch footage. Yeah, if I was halfway through making that, and then I was just like, it kind of sucks. Yeah, that would be really annoying to just scrap.
It has happened to me. Where I've just been like, okay, this ain't it, chief.
Yeah.
And I've had to, and I mean at work as well. This is something that I've only recently experienced, but having a creative job, and like where your job depends on your clients, and your clients' whims, it's like, I mean, I get paid a salary, thank God, because there's been more than once where they've commissioned us for this big project. We've done almost all of the work, and then they're like, yeah, sorry, we don't want to do it anymore. And even though I've been paid for it the entire time, you know, I'm not losing any money.
Yeah.
And it's not even it's my, Jesus Christ, who is this fucking dickhead? Are you hearing this? It's a fucking asshole.
It's not too loud for me, but yeah, I definitely heard it.
It's really loud for me though. But yeah, and having like, it's almost like, oh, I've worked for 2 months and now there's nothing to show for it. You know, there's a salary, but it still doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, because you care about, you care about the work. You know, we want, regardless of what industry you're in, you want to be not necessarily be proud of something, but just you want to deliver the thing, and you want them to the customer, whoever you're trying to please, to be happy. It's a great feeling, and then it can feel it. I'm personally attached to my work, whether I like it or not. It's still a professional environment, but you still want to deliver something that you've
Yeah, and that's why I need you to release your first stuff on Spotify.
Okay, bro.
Because you know what, it's gonna be crazy. Like when you're booking out your first tour, and then go back and listen to these episodes, and you're gonna be like, "That's it." That's gonna be crazy, though. Would you do a tour actually?
Okay. Well, look. It comes to, like, when I make something I'm actually legitimately proud of, then
you're never gonna be truly satisfied with anything, though.
That is interesting, because I don't know, but all I need to do is compare it to the music I listen to, and I listen to that music and I go, they are so far beyond my skill. It is like climbing a mountain. Like there's no shortcut to doing what they're doing. So, like I said before, like objectively, although it's easy to say this, whether or not I actually follow up on it, it's just how much time are you willing to put in.
Yeah.
And hopefully, well, I've tried to frame it in my mind. What am I actually gonna do this forever? Because I always get those feelings every now and then. I'm like, oh, just give up. Like just like, or not just give up. I'll never make something I'm proud of, or not. I say make it in my head, but make it doesn't really mean something specific. But just I'm never gonna make a good song, and I'll probably just do this, as a hobby for a little bit, and then one day I'll probably just put it down because I've got other stuff to do or something.
Because the song you showed me before this podcast, that's a good song. The song you showed me before, I think it was like
I think there's potential there, exactly, but in the grand scheme of things in my life,
you've been making bangers. You've been actually making good music, and I would be sad to see you quit.
Well, it's just a feeling I have it inside of me. I'm like, if I stop, it's I don't know. It's something I can't even admit to myself. But how much does it actually mean to me? And it's one of those things that I can't even. The reason I know it means something to me, whether I can admit it or not, is because when I think briefly, I stopped having Ableton like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. Or the version of it was gone. My legitimate version of it. It's all legit. It's all above board, and you know how it is. But I didn't have it, and I was so happy when I obtained Ableton again. I was like, I only knew how much it meant to me when it was gone.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I mean,
I can't sit here and say I don't know. I don't know what it actually means to me. Only when I'm in my clearest of mind could I articulate what music means to me. But yeah, it just that fear that I'll stop doing it, or I'm never going to make it, which is a completely legitimate fact that I'm not going to make something I'm happy with, or I'll never be as good as blah blah blah. Which I don't think is a bad thing comparing to other people, because I'm not trying to copy people. I'm trying to simply make something as good as the people I look up to.
I think that's a must. You must compare yourself to people you look up to. If you think their shit is good, definitely compare to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a really good way to know. Because also, there is nothing that is ever... Jesus fucking Christ! What are these people? What are they doing on Sunday night?
God damn.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. No, I forgot. What was I gonna say? We were talking about music and comparing yourself to others.
And the wider scheme of things. What do you actually think will come of what you're doing now? And yeah. Future aspirations.
I wonder about that as well. Of like, because with the amount of time I spend on YouTube, I might as well. I could start another job, a part-time job, and earn money, money, right? I would probably even spend less time, because even the time when, like today, when I'm not working on a video, I'm we're doing this podcast, which isn't a lot of work. It's not, but I'm also, I'm responding to comments, which I got a lot of comments on that last Destiny 2 video, the long one.
Yes, I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
I
had some problems.
Yeah.
I had some problems with it personally.
Yeah.
As I said, I mean, because I released it in a state of, this is like, how do I phrase this? It was meant to be one video, but now it gets split into two. So I already was a bit like grumpy because it's not what I envisioned. But I almost had to, just because I'm a small creator, I had to realize that no one is going to click on a 1 hour video of someone they don't know. So I had to dial it back, and my hands were almost forced to do it that way. And there was a lot in it where I was like, I would like to include that part, or I would like to cut off that part. Yeah.
So after the fact, once it's uploaded, you still go back and look, and you think.
Well, after I was actually done with it Sunday night, last Sunday, and I kept editing little bits and pieces here and there throughout the week, because I would rewatch bits of it, and like I kept noticing like small errors, like the audio was like not properly mixed in some spots.
Damn, he's a music producer. God damn.
When I say mixed, I just mean like the audio of the bits from the game was lower than my audio, which is annoying.
Of course, yeah.
It's a small thing again, but like, and I kept going through it, and it never felt done. Like even now, it's been received pretty well. I mean, for such a long video, because it is almost 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's still gaining views. I mean, last I checked, it's been doing 23 views an hour.
Damn, that's great.
That's pretty good. And it's got like, I mean, this will sound comically low, but 16 likes with 0 dislikes, which is good for the amount of views it's got.
Yeah.
And I gained 8 subscribers from it already, which,
Woo-hoo.
again, comically low, in the grand scheme of things, but pretty good for me.
I mean, look, compared to someone who, like any other person trying to make content is, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's normal people on YouTube, and then there's, I don't know, it's more than 0. That's impressive. You know what I mean?
But what I was gonna say is, even though it's been received pretty well and it's doing pretty well,
I have some compliments for it as well. Yeah.
I still don't. I didn't. The moment I released it, like I still didn't feel like this video is complete. There's a few bits in it where I was watching it back and I was losing interest. I was like, oh, this. Maybe it was just because I've been rewatching it for like 50 times, but there was just some bits in it where I was like, I should do more here, I should do more there. But also, this is my problem with this video was this is the first of its kind that I do. I've never done a long sort of essay-ish kind of video.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really didn't know. My biggest struggle was how do I set the tone of the video? Because while I was writing it, my brain was just coming up with like dumb jokes, right?
Yeah.
But I was almost like, I wanted it to be more serious, and I initially did make it like literally 0 jokes.
Yeah.
And I was reading the script and I was like, this is dumb. This is boring. I wouldn't watch this. This is like a lecture. I don't want to watch a lecture for 30 minutes. Yeah. So I added a few bits after the fact.
Mm. Yeah, they were funny. Yeah, I think it helps break it up a little bit for sure.
But it wasn't enough in my opinion.
Yeah, I only have good things to say about those. So yeah,
that's good. I mean, I was definitely watching it and I was like, this bit is a bit boring, could use some more editing or something. Well, what do you think about the intro? Because I spend more time on the intro than I actually spent on the entire video.
What was the intro? I remember you talking about the multiple types of intros that there were for Destiny.
Yeah, well, the intro to the actual video was like, God, I listened to that intro so many times that the day that I finished editing the intro, I was repeating all the words, like almost like a song stuck in your head.
Yeah.
It was like time. No, wait, hold on. Oh my God, I've forgotten it. It was like time is sparse. I think time is blah 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 whatever, and then a bunch of like footage with.
Oh yes, yeah. So I remember. Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Well, I wanted to just speak about the video in a larger context, which I think it was really good because you perfectly captured the new player experience because you are a new player. But as someone who played Destiny 1 and a little bit of Destiny 2, but mainly Destiny 1, obviously I know who Cade Six is.
Right.
He's like obviously extremely beloved character to the community, and obviously you perfectly capture that all of these characters are here, and you're just assumed to have known all of these people. And also, which was funny, which is you thought Rahul and all that, they're like the same race, but they're like, is that the same character?
They looked exactly the same. I was like,
yeah. And it's hilarious, but it's perfect because it's true, because it's exactly what a new player would think. It's exactly what I would think if I didn't know the characters. So I thought it was such a good angle, as well as kind of shedding light on what people can actually expect from it. And obviously the people in the comments were talking about a few things as well, about their experience of Destiny as well. But I thought it was really, really good. And also it's kind of a cool way to just, because the cutscene was really cool, and you also complimented it. And at first, when you compliment like, "Oh, this game's so amazing," I was like, as someone who played Destiny, I was like, "Yeah, it's all right." And also, it wasn't always free to play.
Was
Destiny.
it not?
No, I don't think it was. It changed since they started adding the battle passes and stuff, or maybe a little bit before then, or a bit after.
What? So you had to pay for the game and then for the expansions?
All the expansions, yeah. Which is a mess. The expansions are currently a mess because they've I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know, but a lot of the content gets vaulted and stuff, and sunset and all that. So it's a mess.
I actually tried to I wanted to organize all the bits. Like I wanted to provide a timeline in there, but I went into it and then I was like, "Oh, fuck this! I can't."
No, it's crazy. It's also not that important. It's kind of one of those things where, for the most part, you just do the latest expansion, and they normally have decent guns in that new season with a similar archetype or new archetypes that are meta at that point. There's sometimes like good weapons, like the Galahorn and stuff, or the Gatlahorn, however you're supposed to pronounce it, mate. Speaking of the Galahorn, man, Destiny 1 was a great game.
Was it?
It was because it was like probably my first like RPG MMO type of game that I played. I think I checked on Bungie. I think it's 900 something hours.
Oh my god!
Which these days,
What?
I mean, I probably put more hours into it, because I say Monster Hunter World, I put 900 into that, and I feel like I played that game for fucking ages. Obviously, my Rocket League is 2,500, so that's what I'm judging it against for how much I actually do play games. Anyway, Destiny 1 was fantastic, and I remember getting one of my friends who's super lucky, because that was when I was back in secondary school, and I would literally be in my head before getting on the bus, before going to school. I just went outside my house. I would be like, I hope I'm getting good loot in the raid tonight. Like, it's raid night. Like, raids are reset. I'm hoping I finally get the Vex Mythoclast, which is the goated Vex exotic for doing Atheon, which is one of the raid bosses. And my friend, he completed it, and he got the Vex Mythoclast and the Galahorn. And the Galahorn is like the best rocket launcher in the game. It's super sought after because the other raid, which is Crota, is like the most meta weapon, because basically during that fight there's a point where you start shooting him, everyone unloads their rockets on Crota, you do enough damage to him, he goes down on one knee, and then your sword bearer, you guy with the sword, jumps up and starts stabbing him and does damage to his actual health bar. The Galahorn is the best rocket launcher for that, and like for most raid teams, they only let people join the raid team if you've got a Galahorn, because it's kind of no point. So the euphoria of getting those guns, I think it meant much more than it does in Destiny 2, and also it was early Destiny 1, because the exotics became a bit more of like a thing you can purchase more easily from Xur and acquire more easily. But I remember another gun, the Hawkmoon. I don't know, you just Google what the Hawkmoon looks like. Just Google it, because it's beautiful. But yeah, I remember. I don't remember getting the Vex Mythoclast, but I do remember getting the Galahorn, and I do remember getting a Hawkmoon. And I got my Hawkmoon when I was soloing Crota.
What? That looks so cool.
And it's a really good gun, and it sounds awesome, and it had a really cool perk and everything. But yeah, man, I remember soloing Crota. I think I soloed Crota a few updates. I don't know if that was after Prison of Elders or whenever. But you got to a point where you're powerful enough, and there's strategies where you can complete the raid solo. And I killed Crota. I think it was on my Titan. I got the helmet that I needed, which is the final piece I needed to get full set max light level. And then I got the Hawkmoon for soloing it. And I remember coming upstairs, going to the toilet, I was shaking. Because I was so excited about getting that gun. But yeah, they meant quite a lot, especially in early Destiny. Yeah, and it was great. And another thing is Destiny 1, like I originally got it because I got a PS4, and I went into game. I was getting a bunch of like just pre-owned games because I'm not fucking rich, and Destiny was one of them. And I started playing that because my friend played it, and it kind of got him back into it. And then I think Crota's End came out. I don't know if that's the name of the expansion, I can't remember. But like an expansion came out for the game, and then I ended up playing it for however many expansions there were. Taken King was fantastic. That was a really good expansion. But yeah, Destiny 1 was a fantastic game. And like that's the only thing that has got me that invested in a game since Destiny 1 was Monster Hunter World. And that was the first Monster Hunter game I ever played. But yeah, I'm looking for that next game. Because every time I go back to, I have gone back to Destiny 1 a few years ago in the past, and it's like, it's kind of dead, obviously, because it's a dead end. But man, to get a game where I can actually like want to know life it's been a long time. Yeah. But man, is it good when you got a game like that? It is amazing.
That sounds really fun, honestly. Does
Warframe have similar experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I can get into
getting
that,
getting similar guns, and
definitely. I mean, for me, it was a bit more different because I play Warframe in a bit of a non-standard way. But I just want to mention about Destiny 2. I really liked the game. I was really addicted to it. And there's plenty of criticisms that I've got for the game, but the fucking gunplay is so good. I was like genuinely, I say it in the video, but I cannot overstate this. The first few hours of Destiny, I was genuinely like, I had emotion. Does that make sense? Like it was it was one of those.
Yeah, I mean,
games where-
you're running it at what a good settings because you've got a good PC now, like and it's come a long way since. Well, come quite a bit of way. Destiny 1 still looked fantastic, but yeah, the game looks gorgeous, and the fundamental gunplay is really good.
Yeah, the gameplay is so good. Like, I just wanted to go into events and grind them out forever, because the act of grinding them out just felt so good. And like, this becomes more relevant in the second part.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got like terabytes of footage of me just grinding it and just grinding random bits, just because it was so fun. And I also got like really attached to my guns. What? Obviously, this was last month, so I don't remember the name of my favorite one. It was something like It was basically this exotic weapon that every time I would attack, there would be a small chance that it would restore my melee. And I just found that sort of fit my playstyle in a great way, and I was constantly running it, and I loved it. And that's going to be another talking point. But in Warframe, the way I play Warframe is not how most people play Warframe, because the fun part for me in Warframe is it almost feels like, you know, those people that go on the beach with a metal detector and expect to find treasure.
Yeah,
that's how I play Warframe. Like, I'll like go and try to find voids that have like really rare vaulted loot. So vaulted means that it isn't available anymore. So the only way to get it is someone needs to trade it to you, or you need to open a relic.
Right.
And I would go out of my way to find these relics, open them, try to crack them, and it's a bit of a loot boxy thing. I mean, it's obviously free. It's not paid by any means. You can't buy them even if you wanted to. I don't think so. But yeah, and then I would go and sell them on the Warframe market for platinum, which is the paid currency in the game.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a way of like getting that done, and also like, I mean, I raved about how like confusing the story is for Destiny 2 as a free-to-play player. But I mean, with Warframe, there's so many things there. I mean, the game has been going on for so long. There's so many things in there that we can be here all day.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember a few highlights of like, there's this quest called The Second Dream, and it was the moment of like, because I've been playing Warframe as a sort of a hack and slash looter shooter, like, you know, play the game and then put a podcast in the background.
Yeah.
But that was the point of like, I realized there's like an amazing story here, and it like, because it sort of changes the game for you completely. Like, even though it's an open MMO, you like, before you finish that quest, there's a part of the game that you cannot experience, and you don't even know it. Like, they've done such a good job to just avoid it. Like, I didn't know I was missing out on this, because I had like 300 hours and I hadn't played that quest, because all I did was just opening the void relics. And when I finished that quest, I remember I was so hype about the game. Like, I was, maybe not as much as you were, but that was the point for me where I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. This game is fucking cool. And ever since then, I mean, Tuviri Paradox was insane. That shit was crazy. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorite games. Also because the developers, like, I've got a video on it coming out, by the way. But the developers, for one, they're really involved with the community. Like, they stream all the time, talk about the game, and just in a very like, it's definitely not just marketing. Like, it's just, I mean, they're
just actually
there.
being actively in the community.
Yeah, they play. I mean, people talk about them. They'll like put some Easter eggs, whatever. that's really fun. And then everything that they do, they obviously there's like skins and stuff that you need to purchase the moment that it comes out in like a special kind of case or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's purely just cosmetics. I've never purchased any of them, and I've never like cared to. Like, it's never felt like I'm missing out on part of Warframe because I'm not paying them this money.
And if it's just cosmetic, then you can still enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, but the crazy part is, as I said, you can get the platinum that you need through just grinding the game. You can play the game and earn that platinum to then buy that thing if you want it.
That's great.
So you never need to spend any money, and that was why that was the first game that I actually spent money in, because I was worried that if people don't actually buy the stuff that they've got, they'll go under, and I don't want them to go under. I want them to be a nice and healthy business, because the stuff they make is absolutely gorgeous.
But yeah, I see what you mean. I have had that where I spent money on skins for Don't Starve Together, just because Clay, the people that make it, obviously make fantastic games.
Yeah,
and I do like I made a few skin purchases. They're not very expensive, but I actually do in my mind feel like I'm actually supporting something I really enjoy. So it didn't feel bad at all. It felt like actually giving back.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really important to support the community in the game. You know, you want the developers to be upstanding. You want them to care. You want them to be passionate about the game. Like, I see all the developers that come on camera or whatever for Warframe, and I'm like, you know, these people are super cool, and they develop like these entire open worlds for a free-to-play game and just release them for free. Like, there's no part of the story, there's no part of the world that is locked to you because you haven't paid. It's one of the truly free-to-play experiences out there. Alongside with Legends of Runeterra, which is a card game based on the League of Legends world, where it is probably the best card game in terms of like free-to-play-ness.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much opportunity to earn cards for free. I've never felt the need to spend money on it, but again, it is one of those games that I have spent money on because they like at no point did I need to spend money. So
I felt like it actually was your choice completely.
Yeah, I was like, I want to support this.
Yeah,
and this is how I'm just gonna support it. Like, especially with Warframe, I almost wish that they would ask of money sometimes.
Well, okay, let's not go too far, lads.
Listen, like,
I mean, you know, you're getting your hands and knees right now for them.
Maybe this is just me, but like, I really hold that game in really high regard because everything in there is top-notch quality. I mean, okay, hold on. Actually, there's like plenty of bugs. I mean, the ragdolling effects, and I mean, if you use a bow ever, it's like the game engine is just like whoa. And there's some optimization stuff, but like none of that has been game breaking or anything that has been. In fact, if anything, it's kind of made it funnier. It's made it more fun.
Yeah, a bit of charm to it.
The occasional bug here and there, I've really enjoyed, and I've played a lot of the game, so I can't really fault it for anything. And it's one of those comfort things that I can always go back to. And if I ever have to live through the day where like they announce that they're closing their servers and they're going under, I think I don't know how I'll be able to live through that, because that's a really important game for me.
Yeah,
it's really good. And there's these, because you know Destiny has raid bosses. I've never actually done any of the raid events. I remember I was just working into getting the whatever highest power level is, like getting your powerfuls and whatnot. I think that's what they're called. in Warframe, there's these Eidolons, which are like these massive creatures that like there's like an entire ritual to get them spawned, and then you can do like 3 of them together, which is like another ritual that you need to do. But the only way to do them is to actually go out and find 3 other players to do them with you, and you need to coordinate with those players, which most of the time is going to be randoms because no one that I know plays Warframe. I mean, I've got one friend that plays Warframe.
Well, I might be hopping on, mate. You're really selling it.
You should. It is really good. The only problem with it is for new players, because I mean, Destiny's new player experience was bad, but Warframe is like on the next level of bad.
Oh, it's even worse.
It's way worse. Way worse. You really need to like want it, because you're gonna get in the game, play through the tutorial, which now the first few hours of a new player now is the best it's ever been. It's actually really engaging and fun. But after that, you're gonna be sitting there scratching your head, and you'll be like, "What am I doing? What am I meant to do?" And some people, they will just go and do all the story quests and just get the story of the game. Other people, like me, will go around just collecting loot forever. Other people will just like focus on fashion and looking cool while doing stuff.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but the new player experience is definitely rough, but the community is amazing. I mean, if you're a new player, and if you just like type it in the old chat, because there's like I don't think it's like everyone in your region, but maybe like 5 or however many people they can fit in one session. There's a lot of people in the old chat. And if you just type, "Hey, I'm a new player, what am I meant to do?" Like, you get so many tips, friend requests, people will start inviting you to their clan. Like, that's it's great. And then in the clan, like, if you join a clan, it's really easy to then, because people that play it, a lot of them are really committed to it.
Yeah.
So when you join a clan, you can find a few people that you can, become friends with. Speak with them. They'll show you through. And the clans, they will have like races within the clan dojo. You can, like, there's so much. There is just so much there.
That's great. And
it's good if you know where to look for it. As I said, I've done 500 hours plus, and I still haven't killed an Eidolon.
What is
because,
an Eidolon? Is that like
sorry?
What is that? Is that like a raid, or is it like an actual enemy?
It's like a raid boss. I don't want to say raid because you technically don't have to kill. Like, there's no dungeon to go to get to it. There's an open world, and there are these rare creatures, and there's a very specific time window and sort of like conditions that they'll spawn in, and you can collect. You have to, because there's no other way to beat them. You need to collect 3 other people, go find them, and they'll drop these really rare modifications that will, like, I mean, without them, you can't really participate in the late game of Warframe.
Yeah.
And because, like, with Warframe, I haven't even touched on this, but the way you get stronger is really vague. So, like, you have, in Destiny, each gun has a power level.
Yeah. And you can just see a bigger number and go from there.
You can gauge the power of 2 weapons, but in Warframe I could give you 2 weapons of the same class, and you could spend hours trying to figure out which one
actually
is stronger.
Yeah.
It's not clear. Like, it all depends on what mods you add to it. Like, because I've got a Soma, which is this semi-automatic.
Yeah.
That the reason I went with it was just because weapons in Warframe don't have one like damage level. They have like a bunch of stats.
Yeah.
And I went with the Soma because the Soma had a high crit chance. So then I modded it for even more crit chance and crit damage.
Yeah.
And the Soma's main feature was that it has a mag of 200 ammo.
Yeah.
So after modding it, and then I picked a Warframe called Mesa, who like has this buff that will give you more damage to your primary weapon.
Yeah.
So you can see how the build sort of fits into each other. And now I have this fucking machine gun of fucking crit.
Yeah.
But then I've got melees, which I picked these just cool looking swords, and then I spec them into just making them flaming swords because they look cool.
Yeah.
Right? But there's like weapons that will have like special properties, and it's a science. I mean, people have like proper spreadsheets of this shit. Like it's really hard. And then you need to format those weapons, so like there's polarities to those mods, and if you hit the right polarity, it'll give you a discount on your mod capacity, and that's the only way you can get more mods, and that's the only way you can put powerful mods on there. And then there's Umbro mods, and then
Jesus.
there's a lot. It's a really, really good game.
Mate, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give World of Warcraft a go, mate. I'm feeling fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, World of Warcraft. You were saying something about that.
It was just that someone at work was like, they recently started playing it because they used to play New World a lot, like quite a lot.
Yeah.
And they kind of got bored of it, which is what happens with New World, because it's not, at least from all the gameplay I've seen, it kind of does fall off a little bit.
New World is the Amazon one?
Yeah. And anyway, they said they're playing World of Warcraft, and I was like, alright, cool. So I'm going to give it a go. Again, like I said, like we were just saying, Monster Hunter World was the last game that I fully committed and played, and it was just so good because they just released like a bunch, like they released a game, I played through the whole thing, and that was me just learning monsters. It took me hundreds of hours to actually get decent, and I used the greatsword because I'm a little basic bitch. Well, actually, I use the long sword is the most basic bitch weapon, but I use the greatsword because I'm a goat. Anyway, and another thing about Monster Hunter, man, is that there's 14 weapons, and all of them have a whole new unique playstyle. So you can literally learn one weapon, and then that you've only learnt one weapon, and certain monsters, you know what I mean? It's fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just looking for an experience similar that hooked me in as much as that. Like I said, Destiny 1, and then Monster Hunter World, and then I haven't had a game since then. Monster Hunter Rise was great for what it was, but a bit small, a bit boring because it was released on Switch. But a lot of great game, regardless.
I don't know how I feel about World of Warcraft subscription model.
Exactly, that's what I'm concerned about. It says you can try it for free, but I assume it's like, will it just start like a 30-day trial or something, or will it be like a week trial or what?
Last I did it was basically, I think you're capped at level 20.
Oh, okay.
So
you
like
can just get to that. You can just experience level 20, and then if you want to go further, you can just
If that was like last I played it, which was a few years back, so they might have changed it. But you know what? I was actually thinking about World of Warcraft today, before we had to talk, because I was like, I wanted to get to, maybe look into what's changed.
We could go in together, as a little duo.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know how I feel about it. Like, that subscription model, man.
How expensive is it?
It's like, last I checked, I think it's like 20 quid a month.
Whew.
Yeah.
Nuts. That is crazy. It should be like a few pounds a month.
It might be. That was the last I checked.
Look, it's confusing because I look at the purchasing options now, right? And only the most expensive one says it gives you 30 days of access. And I'm looking at World of Warcraft, not Classic. So if I go to the editions of the game, where is it? Here we go. So yeah, so you have to get the Epic edition, which is currently half price. So normally it's £75. This is the only one, so it's £37.45 right now, right? Half price. And it's the only option, at least it says on Blizzard, it's the only option that has 30 days of game time ticked next to it. So you could buy the base edition of the game, you get World of Warcraft Dragonflight, a different race and class, and 500 of whatever the currency is for 20 quid. But I don't understand how only one option gives you 30 days of game time. So
I'm so confused.
I don't know, but there's no way you're paying £37 a month though, right? That can't be.
Well, I'm confused because the one I'm looking at, World of Warcraft subscription, which is on Blizzard's website, says so if you wanna do month by month, it's $15 US dollars.
So it's about £12 a month.
Yeah, per month. Or they have an offer which for 6 months you pay $13. I mean, it's not much of a difference, is it? But that works up to $77. And
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
yeah, but you're right, because there are different levels at the bottom, and
Again, to be fair, if you enjoy the game enough, I'm sure it's a reasonable investment as long as they're constantly adding updates, which I think they are. But if I buy a subscription, do I then have to pay for the expansion on top of that when they do release it?
And what happens if I stop playing it and then in 10 years I'm like, oh, I'd like to revisit my character?
And you can only play it in a certain time, whereas I'd rather just play it when I want. Bit weird.
Yeah. And like I feel like this subscription model though, I feel like that's the reason why it was so popular back in the days, because if I paid for it, I want to get my money's worth.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy 14 is subscription, isn't it? Everyone raves about that game.
What? I didn't know. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, whatever it is, the MMORPG one.
Well, I have heard that in WoW you can do stuff to earn the currency and then use the currency to buy a subscription.
Okay.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but I did check, and the trial is still just level 20. I will say though, there are, and I'm just all I'm doing here is I'm just telling you that there is this thing, okay? What you do with this information, disclaimer, I'm not responsible for.
Yeah.
But there is these servers.
Ooh.
All right. That do give you the experience for free. But a friend tells me that they are not reliable and they're really janky and there's a lot of bugs in them. But they do get you there. So
there's scuffed unofficial World of Warcraft servers. Why does that mean you can play the game in full then for free? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly. Well, no, you can. It's not alleged. You can. But yeah, a friend of mine told me allegedly.
Okay.
And yeah, but there's a lot of problems with like how buggy it is, and that friend of mine has only experienced the game in that sense. So it's always been janky in his world. As of me, I don't know. I've never played it. But yeah, I mean, do you remember the movie? Do you remember when the movie came out?
I do. I never saw it, but I do remember the promotional stuff.
I watched it in 3D and I was like, it's a dumb movie, but it's cool. Like, it looks cool. And I really wish that they continued with it, but they cut it, I think, because it's been like 6 or 7 years now. I don't think they're making any more.
Yeah.
But WoW is one of those things that has remained from like the core Blizzard, the Blizzard that back in the day when you heard the Blizzard title, you were like, that shit's gonna be the bomb. That's gonna be good. I remember when Overwatch was coming out, I was like, oh my god, there's no way Blizzard's making another game, it's gonna be amazing. And it came out and it was good for a bit. And then it all went downhill. I hear Diablo 4 is good though, but I click on Diablo 4 and the first thing I see is a battle pass. Why is there a battle pass?
Endgame not so good. Apparently endgame is lacking like a fair amount. I do. Thing is, I need to try it because I just like World of Warcraft, which I'm about to experience. Like, you're not controlling your character with WSD, I don't think. You're clicking everywhere.
Yeah.
And WSD is your abilities. That's going to be... I have to get used to that, I think.
Oh, what? You've never played League?
No, I never played... Well, I played Dota 2 a little bit, which is probably better than League. Yeah, the only other MMO game like that, what do you call it? What are they called? MOBA. Was what's that game on mobile? What the fuck is it called? It's not called Valorant, but it's
Champions of something.
No, it's like it's a one-word game. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like Valor or something like that. It's a pretty big one on mobile, and it was actually a really good game. But yeah, that's the only other one I played. Oh, and
by the way, I promise I'm
Freedom
not
Unite.
sitting in the middle of the street. I don't know what's going on today.
They're out in force, mate. Well, I had someone drive past our house like the other night. I assume they had a fully like I don't know what modified exhaust, because it was like literally someone was shooting guns out there. And
yeah, I don't know
just pisses
what's
me
happening
off so
today.
much. Let's end on a final note, which is people that have modified exhausts. They don't get attention in their for whatever reason in their life, so they resort to this to get attention.
It's also it doesn't give you any
negative
performance.
attention.
There is no performance to it. Why are you doing it? It's so annoying.
I was just say, just even for the attention factor, the attention you're trying to acquire is no longer good attention, because everyone now hates you and thinks you're a dickhead. So if you want to be hated, then that's the way to go. But if you actually wanted to get attention from other people in a more positive way, don't do it. And we hate you, and I don't like you, and it's stupid.
That's a good
dumb.
message. Message.
It's just ridiculous. It's just an inconvenience for everyone, including themselves. I assume they're not even really happy with themselves, to be honest.
Surely, like, they hear it in the car as well, and it must be like, if I just want to go to Tesco's and like I gotta listen to that, like, what? How do you listen to music as well? Like,
well, they fucking have the windows rolled down and it's turned the fuck up properly. Fucking cringe.
Yeah, there's no way you can hear anything. It's so loud.
I will say, I do like seeing unique cars. Not with exhaust, but I do like seeing unique modifications to cars. I don't like people that like do it in a really crummy way, that like obviously get a really cheap car and then just like kit it out with like spoiler and shit. It looks like absolute garbage. But I do like some cars that maybe they make them look a bit sporty, or they have like a cool color on them. Also, I like that, because I think it's really nice to just break up the mundane cars. Although I would never like to own one, because it attracts too much attention.
I mean, I think you know me enough to know that is just my kind of thing. I love modded cars. I'm thinking about modding my own car, but I think I'm never going to do the exhaust.
Yeah, I think it'd be so cool to just see something different every day. It's like why I've got a pink Secret Labs chair. Like, I'm glad I got it now, because it's just something different that I would never normally get. And I thought the design was cool, so I got it. But yeah, it's just sometimes you got to do things like that. I think it spices life up, you know. Yeah,
for me, it's just I want to do it myself when I'm modding it. It's like a little nice DIY project
for sure.
And I already do feel like this is dumb. I realize it, but I am attached to my car emotionally. Like, sometimes I need to park it below a tree, because I don't have like a garage or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I need to park it below a tree, and I like the moment I park it, I know in the morning it's gonna be full of bird shit.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
And it breaks my heart. It genuinely breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, fuck you if you have. Fuck you. Not fuck you. I mean, don't be that guy with the exhaust.
They know no one likes them, and they've done this to get attention, but it's the wrong kind of attention. You're actually hurting your chances of other human beings wanting to interact with you, which I assume is ultimately the goal deep inside of them.
Yeah.
So,
well, there is. We gotta be fair. There is a spot for these kind of things, and it's on the racetrack, not on public roads. Especially not in residential areas. You fucking twats.
Exactly. Well, exactly, and that's the exact people that I'm talking about. Is like they're doing it on purpose in an area where it's really quiet to get attention or whatever sick the thing they're trying to please deep inside of them. But
yeah,
no, we don't like them. Bad.
All right. Thank you for listening. If you listen throughout the entire thing, you are officially a big dick kind of person.
Should we put? I mean, no one's ever going to do it. No one's ever going to watch to the end. But if there is someone who watches the end, should we ask them to put a random word in the comments? Just one word, a one-word comment, just so a secret code, so we know they listen to the end. Okay, pick a random word, just like a.
It doesn't have to be one word, but if you're gonna type an entire comment, try to let's say onion, right?
Have onion in the comment.
Yeah, or try to.
I like that. Okay, today, this week,
put it
onion.
somewhere. Yeah.
Put the word onion in the comment. Put onion
in the comment, and if you do it, I'll PayPal you £1.
Ooh.
Actually, in case this ever gets big, I probably shouldn't say that. Okay, any comment that
when we become rich and famous from this unbelievably entertaining show.
No, hold on. I'll just put a cut-off date. So, okay. If you're listening to this before
end of October,
the 1st of December 2023, okay? If it's before the 1st of December 2023, if you have onion anywhere in your comment, reply to your own comment with your PayPal email address. I'll send you £1.
Don't. I mean, can you DM them? You don't want people giving out their emails.
True. All right. Yeah. Actually, yeah. You're right. Okay.
Respond with your credit card number.
Yeah. Okay. No, he's right. I'll DM you. Or
just before we do that though, like, what are the fees on £1? Surely there's just fees that is like not even going to be. Are you gonna give them £5? I don't want to drain your bank account here, man. But
yeah, no, I'm not doing £5.
What are the fees looking like? Are you just basically giving them like 25p with?
No, like it'll be transaction fees on my end. They'll receive £1.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but like now that I say, I'm like, because you realize like not the last, but the episode before that got like 60 views.
Popped off.
That means £60. That's a lot of money.
No.
But I think people deserve it. People deserve it.
Yeah.
Cut off date 1st of December 2023.
The homies that stick with us from the beginning. You know.
Yeah. You get £1. If you're listening to this after that, hello. You can still do it. You can still comment. It's cool. We'll know.
Yeah, true. We're still commenting.
Yeah.
But we were looking at the date. Okay, cool.
All right, cool. Right. I'm satisfied with that, and I just never know what to say for
you next week. Love you. Tomorrow. Goodbye.
You know what? Next week we should maybe do it live. What do you think?
Well, have it on the stream, mate. Not that it has any viewers, but yes, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do it live. Although I'm kind of scared of doing it. Fuck it, we can do it live.
Wait, am I going to do... Okay. Well, do you want... Okay, yeah, and then what we can do is, in the video, we can have me. We can just have the video just be me. We can just have a little icon of you. But the actual... just have me on camera.
I can have a camera of myself, but maybe without my face. Or maybe I'll put...
just literally have your icon and just have my webcam just on the side. Because I can send you the footage of... Well, we'll discuss it. But if you look at my stream right now, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's end the podcast and then we'll discuss it. All right. Anyway, bye guys. Thank you for listening. All
Goodbye.
Right. Fuck off. Bye.